The exact transmission of leprosy has not been determined. However, it is more likely to be through transmission of air droplets, so respiratory.
Dr. Bevins-Lang says those most at risk are the immunocompromised, but the good news is that it is treatable with antibiotics. She shares how one can detect if they have the disease.
Okay, we have skin lesions that can appear. It may be pale, discolored, rash patches on the skin with decreased sensation in that area to touch or temperature or pain. Then you have persons may present with muscle weakness, eye problems that can occur in persons with leprosy.
Dr. Bevins-Lang says the strongest preventative measure is health education, and that is why medical professionals are ensuring that persons understand the symptoms. She's encouraging those who suspect they might have contracted the disease to present to their physician for further investigation.
Especially during our summer travels, whether it's by boat or plane, once you're in a very crowded area, try to maintain social distancing. If you're unsure or uneasy about your surroundings, just wear your face mask.
Switching gears now, Acting Education Director during yesterday's press conference at the Office of the Prime Minister shared that students are aware of the issues surrounding education, including the definitions of an alternative lifestyle of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual, queer, intersex, asexual community. Well, that is sending shockwaves throughout the country, as many assumed that this meant that students are being taught this lifestyle and the LGBTQ books were in the public school system. Our Jolanda Thompson-Everest joins us live and tells us that education officials here in Grand Bahama say there is no need for concern at this time. Jolanda?
That's right, Raven. Many residents up in arms after that statement by the education director. However, Superintendent of Education Ivan Butler and the District Administrator Keith Barr says that this is nothing new and these definitions have been taught since the introduction of family life and health classes at the junior and senior level. They say that their duty is to educate the children on prevalent issues, but make no mistake about it, they say the topics only cover the definitions of these words.
And in our classroom guidance and counseling sessions that the guidance counselors have with the students, they reinforce traditional family settings, traditional family lifestyles. So when you talk about what's being taught and what's being implemented, that's being taught in the school. But the LGBTQ or any of them, they're not traditional family lifestyle, family settings.
So we're just a part of the whole scheme in terms of educating or informing not only our children, but also our adults. And so they don't have to have any fear that we are misleading their children in any way.
But Butler says the onus is also on the parents to have these types of conversations with their children so they are aware of what's happening in the world.
But we encourage parents to have talk, sit-down conversation with their children, even at an early age. And so they too can help, identify what is acceptable.
And Barr says at counseling sessions at the schools, one thing for certain is being enforced.
There are no particular educational text that's used in this age of Google and anything you can find on the internet. So there may be research questions that are given to the students in regards to understanding definition, and I think that's as far as that goes.
Now, Raven, the Ministry of Education contends that there are no hidden agendas when it comes to alternative lifestyles being pushed on Bahamian children. And further to that, a statement was also released that says the Ministry of Education is aware of an LGBT book circulating, but this book is not in the public schools book list and is not in the schools. The statement goes on to read that while the ministry does inform the students that this lifestyle exists and teaches all children to love all people, the Ministry of Education promotes a Christian perspective and respects Christian values. There you have it, Raven. I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest. Back to you in studio.
Thanks, Jolanda. In other news, the Grand Bahama Power Company announcing yet another increase on the fuel charge rate for the month of August. This rate increase jumped in May from 11.97 cents per kilowatt to 12.12 cents in June, 12.15 cents in July, and now 13.38 cents for the month of August. Now, while this rate is said to be the lowest in the country, this is the highest rate Grand Bahama has seen in 7 years. In 2022, the Grand Bahama Power Company advised their customers that they would have seen an increase in their bills from 10 cents per kilowatt to 11.5 cents. And earlier this week, some consumers spoke with our ZNS News team pleading for something to be done as they are feeling the brunt of these increases. Well, we reached out to the Grand Bahama Power Company for comment, but they did not respond. Up to news time. And in other news, the summer of 2023 has produced scorching heat temperatures so far. Tonight, we hear from residents on their summer heat experience as our local meteorologist shares what you need to know to keep cool and safe. Our summer intern, Anaya Edwards-Tute, has that report.
Based on what most residents are saying, the summer has surely been the hottest one yet. As the atmosphere is heating up, so are their pockets. We took to the streets of Grand Bahama today to speak with residents and have them rate this summer heat on a scale of 1 to 10.
It's running up my AC bill. I'm gonna say 8.
I'm gonna go 7. It hasn't been the hottest I've experienced, but 7.
How hot has this summer been?
100.
10, 11, 12. Wait, it's been hot.
Oh gosh, 10.
10 plus.
20.
Summer for me was 11.
100. 100.
Residents are also weighing in on how they have been coping with the heat this summer.
I'm from Minnesota originally, so I'm used to the snow pretty much like 5 months out of the year. And so having to live here, it's very different for me.
I've lived in Florida, so it's very similar.
I've been staying indoors. You only go out on a need-to basis.
It had a physical toll on my body as far as I've just been feeling periodically like drowsiness, being weary.
It is too hot. I've never felt it like this in all my life.
Man, listen, this summer was ridiculous. Air conditioning was a must.
According to meteorologist Trinard Tynes, the summer heat of July 2023 has been record-breaking. Here is what he has to say about this climate change.
When you have a lot of carbon emissions in the atmosphere, it's going to heat the atmosphere up because carbon does that. This year so far, because the year hasn't been complete, 2023 hasn't been completed. So far, July has been the hottest month in record over the years. During this heat time now, the persons who are more susceptible of getting heat strokes are young kids and elderly people. So try to see if they can stay as cool and comfortable as possible. Try to stay away from the caffeinated drinks. Try to stay in cool places. If you have to go outdoors, limit your amount of time that you're on outdoors.
Now, meteorologist Tynes reminds residents to keep cool and stay hydrated as the summer is surely hot. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I am intern Anaya Edwards-Tute.
Good job, Anaya. In other news, Buckeye Partners issuing a statement moments ago in regards to that oil spill in waters off their oil terminal on Wednesday. Officials say up to 10 barrels of fuel product may have spilled into the atmosphere. According to today's statement, Buckeye has made substantial progress on product recovery and cleanup measures in regards to the release of fuel oil at its Bahamas Hub Marine Terminal, noting that there is no known impact to the shoreline or surrounding environment. But Buckeye is continuously monitoring the area and undertaking residual cleanup measures wherever necessary. Buckeye says they will continue to work closely with the government of the Bahamas, as well as all applicable regulatory agencies throughout its comprehensive investigation progress. Officials say Buckeye appreciates the immediate support from emergency responders and local agencies as they work to address the incident as efficiently and effectively as possible. Buckeye says they continue to prioritize the safety of the workforce, the communities in which they operate, and the environment above all. And when we come back, a local pastor's ministry is expanding internationally. His story of test to testimony is up next. In the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition continues.
For it, you've got it. A new plant nursery, fully loaded with everything you need and extended hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Hurricane season is here. Residents are asked to visit the Pine Ridge landfill to dispose of vegetative and household debris free of charge. Deliver your debris to the landfill weekdays between the hours of 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. or on Saturdays 8 a.m. to 12 noon.
Check out Park and Shop in the Churchill Square for their Emancipation Day sale. 20% off store-wide August 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Phone them at 352-7025.
It's going down Saturday, August 5th, as the West End Homecoming and Boat Race Committee present a boat and math motorcade. Saturday, August 5th, starting with a tailgate party from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. in the International Bazaar. It's party ready with food, music, and drink. Parade starts at 2 p.m. heading east into Port Nakai, parading through the streets of Grand Bahama and ending in West End to climax with the Junkanoo Summer Festival. Saturday, August 5th, starting from the International Bazaar to the west, I say.
I feel that the Battle of the Brains is a great opportunity for the academic sector of schools to get their shine. The Bahamas usually focuses on athletic achievements, and the Battle of the Brains is a great opportunity for people to see that it's not only athletes, but we have brainiacs in the Bahamas as well.
I feel as though the Battle of the Brains competition allows us to challenge our intellect and really put into work in the real world what we've learned inside our classes.
Here are some tips for having your home ready for a hurricane. Keep all trees and shrubs trimmed. Bring in all outdoor furniture, plants, or any other items that may become airborne due to high winds. Cover windows and doors with hurricane shutters or pre-cut plywood. Clear drains and gutters. And remember to secure important documentation in case you have to evacuate. Don't be caught off guard this hurricane season. Be prepared.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. He is a religious leader and author who has found success after going through a difficult period. Tonight, Pastor Kevin Ewing speaks about his spiritual walk and the birth of a gospel ministry that has attracted thousands of followers from around the world. Julanda Thompson-Everest reports.
With no intentions of being a pastor, Kevin L.A. Ewing has one of the largest religious following fan base in the Bahamas. He says that his past relationships took him down an extremely dark road, but luckily with the help of God, those experiences turned into lessons and then into a blessing.
Experience in my life, spiritual stuff with some people I was involved with, I was exposed to a part of life that not much people are exposed to. It was through those circumstances that led me to here. Long story short, I ended up giving my life to God as a result of being a part of 2 specific relationships where the parties were involved in sorcery. I knew nothing of it at the time, but it had me reaching for answers.
The pastor sharing that before seeking God, he found no help in the religious community, but on the brink of taking his own life was when he found the hand of God, whom turned things around.
As a result of me practicing those rules and laws of Scripture, that I began to see the manifestation and the changes. That now put me in a position to begin to write. So I started out writing articles. One day I got a call from the local Freeport News because I posted them on Facebook and so on, and they asked me if it would be okay if they post them in their daily. I said, sure, I'd love it. It wasn't long after that, I got another call from the Tribune. They were also carrying it, and the Punch at the time also, they were carrying it. From that, I started doing videos. Started doing videos, but I mean, just going on the beach, doing little videos here, me and my wife, and she's my little local producer. So those videos begin to mushroom into so many people watching them worldwide.
And just like that, invitations internationally started rolling in, connections from London to the Cayman Islands and more. However, Ewing says that he was more focused with healing than the success.
Popularity will come, the finances will come, every other thing else is going to come. But to know that you could alter somebody's life for the better through your experience that you thought was so egregious, but now it has been turned around, where I can now offer that help.
When asked on encouraging words for persons seeking to find their purpose, here's what he had to say.
Put your faith in God, all right? There are many people who will say to you, they're a pastor, they're a spiritual healer, they're whatever, and I'm not discounting that. But your ultimate faith must be in the belief that there is a superior spirit who is the creator of all creation, and you must convince yourself that that is the only person that can help me.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
All right, well, the island of Grand Bahama will be covered in prayers by Christian leaders this coming Saturday. Hands Across Grand Bahama, led by evangelist Elmore Smith, will host the 18th annual prayer walk under the theme, The Spirit of Restoration.
This theme is just to pray that not only for the intercessors and the gatekeepers to be restored, but also that Grand Bahama will be restored back in the economy, the business places, government will be restored back into this land. We need to turn around, and I believe it's going to start from the spiritual aspect of it, where the leaders of the churches be united back together.
We find that pastors, evangelists, apostles, teachers, they're not wrestling. You need to wrestle with God like Jacob wrestled with God until God answers. You see? So we need to constantly pray. And that is what we're going to do on the 5th of August.
Pastor Abner Muse also joining in the prayer walk. He is inviting the Haitian community to join in this prayer walk to pray for both nations.
I want to challenge all the Haitian brothers, sisters, please come join with us this Saturday at 6 a.m. to pray together. Because if you look at Haiti right now, we are in trouble. We need prayers. And any other nation in this world, we need prayers than everybody else. So I encourage you, please come to pray so you can see how God will make things to your country and stuff like that.
Switching gears now, the High Rock Sea Fest returns this August Monday holiday opposite the High Rock Primary School grounds. The cultural event is expected to start at 11 a.m., which will highlight and showcase all things from the sea.
There's a lot of people in the community still need help from Dorian, so they can't do it themselves. So if other people don't step in, then we hope that we could raise enough funds to step in and help the situation.
The Ministry of Tourism's role in this festival is to facilitate cultural exchange between locals and visitors by arranging complimentary transportation for our visiting guests on island, organizing live entertainment from local musicians and bands, promoting this festival throughout Grand Bahama to ensure locals and visitors alike can enjoy what High Rock has to offer.
Over the years, the Sea Fest has served as an economic boost for the small community of High Rock in East Grand Bahama. This year's event is expected to provide the same injection for residents in that community.
Sea Fest has been doing this for 17 years. It is a tradition in High Rock. It is a tradition in Grand Bahama. And so I'm so pleased to be able to support them and to congratulate them on putting this together.
On August 7th, we're going to have the dynamic KB and DMAC who are going to perform for us, as well as some of the other local artists here on the island, including the Bahamas Police Pop Band, Royal Bahamas Police Pop Band.
And so it's going to be a fun and exciting day for the family to come on out and enjoy the seafood that we have to offer. And then we also going to have a community environment, bouncing castle, stuff for the kids. You're going to have snow cones. And so it's going to be a fun-filled event.
With this event coming on, definitely we want to be a part of it, and hopefully future events we could be more active and make it, like you say, awareness of community awareness in the area.
And your Friday check on sports is next with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports on a Friday. We have a whole lot of basketball action for you. Let's begin at St. George's Gymnasium.
Nearly 100 athletes took part in the Holiday Hoops basketball camp on Grand Bahama. The three-day camp taught the basic fundamentals of basketball.
All of our kids right now are in tune. They're working hard. You can see that they want to get better. We got this idea from Marco and Dion that we was communicating with about coming down. So we decided to come on down.
Everybody here has been so helpful in terms of facilitating this event, if you want to call it that, from top to bottom. And so I'm just glad to be a part of it.
This is huge for Grand Bahama to help persons come and invest in the lives of young Bahamians. They realize what we would have went through for the past few years of having the pandemic and the hurricane and all that other stuff. So they wanted to come and kind of shed some light and give back to the community and help the young kids.
We just want to say thank you to Bo Audrey, Willis and his team for making Grand Bahama part of this basketball camp, and we look forward to next year to do it much bigger and better on a different level for Grand Bahama.
It's been good, just trying to play my hardest and do my best, dribble properly, shoot, and just look for teammates, passing, and all those things.
Reporter for ZNS Total Sports, I'm summer intern Sherlock Prince.
Switching gears now in sports, bodybuilding on Grand Bahama has somewhat been on the decline. However, there is hope that the sport will grow in the not-too-distant future.
It used to be a lot bigger. We had some challenges, with all the COVID and all the hurricane and everything, and there's challenges, and slowly it's coming back. And that's why people like me and Andrew Sweden, we kind of like the older guys in the sport, but we continue to come in because we want to motivate and get all the younger guys to see what bodybuilding is still all about.
We had an association, which we don't have been on for the past 6 years, I think. We don't have no association here. It's been shut down, and it's deteriorating. If we have an association back in Grand Bahama, bet your bottom dollar. You'll see the proof. Last year was a prime example. It was just a show. After 4 years, we had a Grand Lucaya, sold-out crowd.
Ladies and gents, that's a quick check on sports. Have a great weekend. Be blessed.
Get ready to mash this party.
It's all about the free boat race block party. Listen, look here, coffee's on the Bay West End. D-Mark in the building, Sunday, August 6th. Look here, things mash up Grand Bahama. You all know how I love you all so much, my Lord. You all know what time it is. I'm back in West End again, Sunday, the 6th of August. You all know it's gonna be stupid crazy down there. Buy coffees on the Bay. See y'all, D-Mark in the building. Woo!
I stay in my zone. She said she don't party hard. I tell her I'm a partier. She tell me she ain't no cutter.
Doctors Hospital has reimagined primary care. We have invested to improve our health system, ensuring that accessible, affordable, world-class clinical care is closer to you. Your relationship with a primary care provider shapes the foundation of your overall health. Our new, modern primary care facilities are where critical diagnosis and true personalized treatment begin. With locations in Freeport and 8 Mile Rock, we invite you to experience the Doctors Hospital difference. Book your next appointment at clinics.doctorshos.com.
It's a West End move as the West End Homecoming and Boat Race Committee present West End Homecoming and Boat Race, August 5th through 7th. Saturday, it's the Boat Float and Motorcade, which climaxes into the Junkanoo Summer Festival in West End. Sunday, it's the pre-boat race block party featuring D-Mac, Nishi LS, and Chahel. Hosted by Aaron Rain. Music by DJ Future, Jiggy Fire, DJ Sweetmouth, and Big Flag. Monday, starting at 12 noon, is the Boat Race with boaters from across the Bahamas and U.S. It's a full day of entertainment, cum cracking, watermelon eating, and coconut barking competition. Live performances by Pastor Simeon Elkin and Elkin 360.
Nassau is the capital, Bahamas.
Music by The Future, Sweetmouth, DJ Butler, and JP. And the evening ends with a Junkanoo Russia. It's a fun-filled weekend at the West End Homecoming and Boat Race, August 5th through 7th.
Here are some tips for having your home ready for a hurricane. Keep all trees and shrubs trimmed. Bring in all outdoor furniture, plants, or any other items that may become airborne due to high winds. Cover windows and doors with hurricane shutters or pre-cut plywood. Clear drains and gutters. And remember to secure important documentation in case you have to evacuate. Don't be caught off guard this hurricane season. Be prepared.
So put me together, break me apart again. No doubt about
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Lashonda Wallace from Abaco is our Facebook friend of the day. We hope you are enjoying your birthday, and we say thank you for always watching. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Raven Davis. But be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, Customs Revenue Haul. A son of the soil honored, no to bus fare hike. And in sports, boats set sail in Acklands. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here, faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lopinder, and this is the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. We begin tonight with a call from several residents for a national ban on LGBTQ children's textbooks after a book containing sexualized LGBT content somehow hit the shelves of a local bookstore. The issue sparking fierce debate. Our Desmond Saunders has the story.
It's a controversial issue that has the public outraged. An LGBTQ plus textbook with reported sexualized content for toddlers and primary school children being sold here in the capital. The material educating children about same-sex lifestyles. Many Bahamians taking their disgust on social media, condemning the actions of the book retailer.
As it relates to our Constitution in the Bahamas, we are against those kind of situations happening in our country, and our educational system should remain that way too. We should not have this kind of lifestyle being thrust upon us because of what is happening in the free markets, the United States and Canada and other places. But this country has to remain under the kind of the spiritual values.
It's definitely a no-no. It's not accepted. And it's abusing of the kids' rights, actually. Okay, you don't give them a chance to really make wise decisions, to the point where it's against their own human existing.
I feel like these days just leave kids alone. Let them figure it out themselves when they grow up.
I was brought up in a Christian church and I'm teaching our kids about the Bahamian children about gay things, gay studies. It's not good at all.
When our news team reached out to the bookstore manager, he informed us that he was unavailable for comment. Several employees also told us that the book is no longer on sale. We confirmed that when we walked through the store and didn't see the book on the shelves. The issue of LGBTQ education and young kids also gaining traction in the United States, with many calling for a ban on these types of textbooks. Director of Education Dominique McCartney-Russell admitting on Thursday that the public school system remains open to addressing various LGBTQ issues. This controversial issue will remain in the public domain for quite some time. One thing for sure, Bahamians are holding firm to their deep-rooted Christian values and moral tenets. Here in Rawson Square, Desmond Saunders, The Bahamas Tonight.
Well, in related news, education officials have acted on recommendations, and there are now 3 pathways for students to obtain a high school diploma: general, honest, and inclusive.
And by inclusive, I mean our students now do not only have to utilize the BJC as a criteria. There are some certifications, some equivalencies that they could utilize once they are vetted, such as the City and Guilds or the A+ certifications. And so we have expanded the opportunities for students to obtain a Bahamas high school diploma. There is also an expansion of our TVET offering. We are seeking to bring on a Polytechnic Institute of Excellence, and that's going to expand the options for students in advanced training and greater opportunities for immediate employment, for example, in construction trades, in welding, in plumbing, etc.
According to Director of Education Dominique McCartney-Russell, the institute will be housed at Bahamas Academy's former Wolf Road campus.
We want to remove really the stereotypes in regards to TVET. It is a viable option for our children. In fact, more than 70% of our children go towards careers in TVET. And so we want to advance opportunities for them that will give them access to training, access to apprenticeship, access to opportunities. There is also a focus on the technical cadet course, We're expanding that to include more options with an optimized apprenticeship program.
Meantime, the secondary school in Acklands now bears the name of former cabinet minister, parliamentarian, signatory to the Constitution, A. Loftus Roker. The Ministry of Education spearheading the naming ceremony in Pompey Bay this afternoon to honor a man who has left an indelible mark on the country's history. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, his old friend's tenacity and loyalty to country.
Only 4 of the signatories to our independence agreement are still with us today. And so we are grateful that we can still turn to Loftus for reminiscence, for his first-hand accounts of critical moments in Bahamian history, for guidance, and of course, for his very candid views. What an incredible journey, from a childhood in Acklands to participating in the events that altered our nation's course and delivered to us our national sovereignty.
I went to this school. I never went to a high school, but I got a high school education at this school. That's the difference.
In other news this evening, as the situation in Haiti worsens by the day and women and girls increasingly fall prey to assaults from thugs and gangs running the country, the international community is galvanizing and taking strategic steps to return security to that island nation. With more on this story, we go to our report from our Corvell Python.
Speaking to reporters during a virtual press conference Friday, U.S. Deputy Assistant Secretary for Caribbean Affairs in Haiti, Barbara Feinstein, reaffirmed the Biden administration's support of a potential Kenyan-led multinational force in Haiti. Noting that the United States remains committed to a comprehensive approach in Haiti, over the past 2 years, the Americans have given some $120 million, which has increased the Haitian National Police's ability to stem gang violence in Greater Port-au-Prince and other areas. Despite this, though, she admits Haiti is on the brink of destruction.
There also needs to be added urgency on political dialogue so that coming out of this crisis, the security crisis, there can be a more sustainable foundation upon which Haiti can prosper and function, including to grow its economy, to serve its people, and restore democratic order.
The Biden administration's top priority in the region's most impoverished nation is security. Its investments in the Haitian National Police have sparked concern that a multinational force may simply be used to prop up an existing corrupt government. But Secretary Feinstein assures that this concern should not mean inaction.
We recognize that while security is a necessary precondition for progress towards elections, security alone is an improvement in security will be insufficient in addressing the multidimensional crisis in Haiti. So from our perspective, focus and urgency on enlarging political consensus leading to elections is vitally important.
The U.S. official maintains security is a necessary precondition for progress in terms of the political process and the ability to hold elections, as well as day-to-day life, economic activity, commerce, and the delivery of humanitarian assistance. She applauded the Bahamas and other countries that have come forward to offer support in restoring stability to Haiti.
We greatly appreciated that statement of support from the Bahamas with regard to their support of Kenya as a lead nation. And their commitment to offer troops. We have seen similar statements from other countries in the region, either formal statements or public comments, and that includes from Trinidad and Tobago, from Jamaica, from Chile, from Canada, from the UK, the Dominican Republic, and the Organization of American States. So I think that is evidence that there is strong support for an urgent solution to Haiti's security crisis and offers of support to that end.
Prime Minister Davis has emphasized that any involvement of Bahamian personnel will be contingent on negotiations to ensure that there's widespread support for the effort, is designed to be effective and results-oriented, and minimizes risk to those involved. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corbell Pfeiffer.
Still to come, bus fare hike not approved. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Welcome to a world where hope is still loud, where dreams are still relevant, and determination has no substitute. Welcome to a nation where the people are still warm, resilient, and innovative. And Commonwealth Bank is at the center of it all, giving innovation and progress an extra push for more than 60 years. We're here for Bahamians because we are Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking services.
I always find new ways to connect. Even with those friends that are very, very far away. It doesn't matter who you are. What matters is sharing. Because sharing a bucket with friends tastes finger-licking good.
For hurricane season, we got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We'll help you brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. Before teens get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
With the help of our authorized financial institutions, or AFIs, using sand dollars is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Step 1.
Identify your preferred AFI by browsing their websites or contacting them directly. Step 2. Download the free mobile application from Google Play or the Apple Store and then register for a Sand Dollar account. Step 3. Load money onto your mobile app and begin sending and receiving Sand Dollars or purchasing and selling goods and services.
We are pleased to be
your central bank approved
digital wallet providers. It does not matter
which of us you choose.
You can pay for goods and services
wherever Sand Dollar is accepted.
We are all in this together.
Visit sanddollar.bs for more information.
Still rife with challenges, one's a customs official says they will get a handle on. But the exempt app is making the impact the department had hoped, dramatically increasing revenue intake in just a short space of time. Cleopatra Murphy spoke with the department's head.
Less than 2 months into the launch of the exempt app, and the Bahamas Customs Department has already seen a huge revenue boost.
But we did a snapshot for the first 18 days in July. And you'd be surprised to know that for the first 18 days of July of 2023, the revenue was up 92% over the same corresponding period for last year. And that tells a whole tale.
Acting Comptroller of Customs Ralph Monroe says that's the reason the app was created, sharing that the funds collected at the Lynden Pindling International Airport during the period usually amounted to around $6 to $7 million. Even as revenue has seen a boost, customers who now have to use the app to declare goods, as has been mandated since June 12th, have complained about the tedious 10-step process, the app not working correctly when they try to add items, and other issues they say lead to even longer wait times.
Many of the issues, nonetheless, could be overcome if persons would simply adhere to the instruction that we're giving them to download the app before they travel and to as they shop in the United States or abroad, to put the information into the app. But nonetheless, we do admit there's still some challenges there. It is new, and as we move along, we'll get those kinks out.
Those issues aside, with concerns over hacking, just how secure is the public's information once it's uploaded into the exempt app? Monroe says he understands the concern.
Nonetheless, I think they can feel secure. I've seen professionals who've written letters in the media asking the same question. I am not a person who is in that field, and so I don't want to go out there and defend it. I'd rather the professional, in particular the developers, to come and speak to that. But I feel pretty sure that the information that you would send to us would be secure.
Acknowledging the growing pains both customs officers and the public have to endure, Monroe also addressed the decision to launch the app during the busy summer travel months.
Any time of the year you would launch, you would find. If you want to go for a slow period, probably would be talking about September, when everybody is back to school. But what we want to really do is to capture revenue. And if revenue is being lost, why wait until January? The best day to start is today.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Well, the Ministry of Transport's making it clear that it has not approved a 25-cent bus fare hike, or at least the timeline to do so. This after a letter on social media, said to be from the Bahamas Unified Bus Drivers Union, noted a rate increase set to take effect August 14th, impacting students and adults with the exclusion of seniors. According to that letter, the increase was approved by the Ministry of Housing and Transport, a claim the ministry has dismissed. It notes the government of the Bahamas has not concluded its deliberations for an effective date for the implementation of an increase in fares for the jitney industry, adding that being mindful of the plight of franchise owners, it has offered relief by waiving licensing fees last October and again in May. The release goes on to note that in short order, a series of public consultations will be held with a view to creating a more modern and reliable public bus system in New Providence. Those consultations are to include a further review of fares, passenger safety, and service standards. ZNS News reached out to the Bahamas Unified Bus Drivers Union President Rudy Taylor, who offered no comment on the matter. However, Anthony Flowers feels a bus fare increase is essential to the ground transportation industry.
It costs me on a daily basis to run one vehicle, just one public vehicle on a route, on a rotation. It costs me from 6 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. It costs me $120. That's just fuel. So you think we don't deserve an increase?
Well, a growing problem in the Port-au-Ski area. Another vessel's taken on water, creating challenges to have it removed. Lloyd Allen has the story.
A concerning scenario for boaters in the Port-au-Ski dock area. It was reported just shortly after 11 on Thursday that this vessel here, the Transcargo, began submerging, rather sinking. Now, according to officials, it's been sinking about 1 to 2 feet every hour. And so, of course, it's a very concerning situation. We attempted to speak with the dock master, who indicated that investigations are ongoing. But in the meantime, still a very concerning situation in this area. Situated near the eastern end of Paradise Island Bridge, Port-au-Ski Dock for years has served as a hub for transshipment vessels which weekly travel between the major Bahamian islands. Now, as is customary, many docked vessels are parked parallel to each other in the area, which is being considered for upgrades due to spacing issues by the Port-au-Ski Vendors Association. Additionally, the sinking vessel providing an unsightly view of the mainland for Paradise Island residents and visitors. The vessel was termed an unseaworthy vessel for a number of years and failing a number of inspections. Communications also being made with the reported owner, Mr. Eddins Taylor, alerting of concerns. The port says despite that, no response was ever received. Now, from here on in, we understand the removal of the vessel, now termed salvage, removal, and disposal, a more costly endeavor, is the next step. Now, according to port officials, a similar effort made with the Lady Rosalind earlier this year, that costing around $160,000. And this one, a larger vessel, expected to cost in excess of $300,000. There are legal ramifications in addition, with growing concern as we are in the midst of the hurricane season. Sources tell our news team that all is being done to prompt the unit to remove the vessel, as there are additional concerns related to its impact to the surrounding environment. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Tragedy mars an Exuma family reunion. What was supposed to have been a holiday weekend of fun and frolic has really shaped up to be one of trauma and grief. Our Lloyd Allen and camerawoman Agatha Christie are on the ground.
Just moments ago along Queens Highway on Exuma, a major traffic accident involving 2 vehicles. Now, according to onlookers, the incident happened just after 3:15, where one vehicle traveling in the southern direction was swerving, and the vehicle heading in the north said they tried to avoid that vehicle. However, there was a collision. Now, what we can tell you at this time, that 3 persons were inside this vehicle right here behind me. One of those persons is now unconscious, and the other one just grasping on for life. In the backseat is a child, and in the other vehicle, there are 2 persons with minor injuries. Of course, at this time, we're waiting for ambulatory services to arrive to provide further assistance. Of course, ZNS News here on the scene, providing more insight on this matter. Reporting here from Exuma for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Now, just to give you a better timeline, our team has since told us that the incident happened shortly after 3 p.m. today. An ambulance arrived half an hour later, and less than 5 minutes after, the 2 victims died. We can also tell you that a pregnant woman was taken to the clinic. Meantime, a 34-year-old man is in jail tonight in connection with a significant drug find. Police were acting on intelligence Thursday when they headed to Palm Beach Street and searched a gray Honda Odyssey. That search led to the discovery of 18 pounds of suspected marijuana with an estimated street value of some $18,000. Investigations are ongoing. The Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute to boost its egg production with the help of some 600 Rhode Island hens, said to be among the best heavy breeds of laying eggs. So much so that the flock's expected to produce nearly 500 eggs per day. BAMSI's poultry specialist Justin Taylor assures consumers that these fresh eggs are fortified with nutrients such as omega-3s thanks to the flaxseed in the feed. He verifies these chickens aren't fed with antibiotics or hormones but receive all natural ingredients. Now, with the shipment between New Providence and Andros, the 5-month-old birds will take a few days to get acclimatized to their new environment, but are expected to begin producing eggs within 2 weeks. Once the facility is fully outfitted with 2,800 birds, the research center is expected to produce an estimated 584,000 eggs annually. Well, Amajon Knowles joins us with a check on what's coming up in sports.
Well, it's regatta time again. Several homecomings and regattas taking place throughout the country this weekend. Things kicking off here in Acklands last night. More on those festivities coming up in sports.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the ZNS New College Freshman Giveaway. For more information, go to www.znsbahamas.com/giveaways.
You can find it all at Builders Mall. From cement, lumber, block, plumbing, and electrical to paint, lights, vanities, and tiles. Not to mention all the tools you could possibly need to get the job done. Say if you're starting a major project, adding the finishing touches, or just doing some repair or rental work around the house. FYP, the Paint Center, and Tile King can help. Stop by or call 601-8453. Located 69 Wolf Road, Nassau. You can find it all at Builders Mall. Building, painting, and tiling, the Bahamas.
Are you dreaming of the perfect summer getaway? Apply for a debt consolidation or personal loan to win an airline ticket to Paris, Miami, or New York. Win up to $2,500 in cash and more. For details, call 356-7764 for Nassau, 602-6811 for Freeport, 823-4374 for Abaco.
Health is the greatest gift. That's where we come in. Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies is a premier distributor of medical equipment, as well as medical and surgical consumables. Our engineers are always on hand, providing top care service that saves lives. We carry a wide selection of over-the-counter and prescription items, IV fluids, and other injections. Our products are state-of-the-art, and our entire team stays on top of cutting-edge technology. With more than 2 decades of dedicated service, Bahamas Medical and Surgical Supplies continues to be a trendsetter and innovator in healthcare. We have set ourselves apart by truly caring for our customers. We understand the intricacies of healthcare, and we produce spectacular results. We cherish our partnerships and nurture our friendships as we continue on our quest to help everyone maintain that wonderful gift of good health. Find us on 95th Terrace, Centerville, and now located in the Lucaya Shopping Center of Freeport, Grand Bahama.
Have you ever purchased a defective item and was denied an exchange or cash refund? Contact the Consumer Protection Commission at 393-7795-8 or our 24-hour complaints hotline at 357-7898 and let us help your voice be heard.
Hey, get up, stand up for your right.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A brand that you can trust. Family Guardian.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station. Open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
Demolition of derelict buildings downtown resumes this weekend, but that of course depends on if there are any electrical issues. Led by Tourism's Downtown Revitalization Unit, the exercise part of an action plan for the whole reimagination of Nassau. The city center has been divided into 4 zones to unveil its true transformation.
At the moment, we are positive about 4, possibly 5 buildings east of East Street that is being eyed for demolition. I want to say as a note, these buildings and the demolition for this first phase will cost the government nothing. The committee has met with the AMMC and we are satisfied and agree the way forward on these moves. We are also working with the owners of the downtown businesses to get this done with their full support.
The Bahamas soaring high at the world's greatest aviation celebration. Tourism officials recently met leading aviation partners and pitched new business opportunities at the Experimental Aircraft Association's Air Venture Convention in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. The event attracts between 500 and 800,000 pilots, international media, aviation manufacturers and vendors, and more than 10,000 aircraft. The Bahamian team enticed pilots about the ease of flying here and on the further growth and development of the general aviation sector. The Bahamas joins the United States and Canada as the only 3 countries with International Federal Partnership Organization membership, which has a joint agreement with the EAA. All draped in the Bahamian flag, the late Reverend Lloyd Smith was laid to rest today. Family and friends, including the ministers of Foreign Affairs, Youth, Sports and Culture, and Environment and Natural Resources, and other senior political leaders, paying final tribute to the senior clergyman at his home church of Mount Horeb Baptist Church, Sandy Port. Smith remembered as a man dedicated to the Baptist faith and who had a heart for his people and the people of the country. He was 74 years old.
Vibrant heart of the Bahamas, a common loftier goal unites us all. A place where love and unity thrive, where world-class technology is accessible and affordable, connecting every generation. We believe in our heritage and the boundless potential that lies within us. We believe in Bahamians.
On May 1st, 2012, Rubis acquired the Chevron fuel business in the Bahamas, which traded under the Texaco brand. We are now celebrating our 10th anniversary of the Rubis brand in the Bahamas. Rubis has become the fuel brand of choice. However, our 10-year journey was not without challenges. We would like to recognize our dedicated members of staff and thank our customers for their continued support. We look forward to another 10-year milestone as we continue our journey.
Central Bank Governor John Rawls says officials are looking to increase the use of the sand dollar in Family Island communities. In fact, he says much of what the bank is doing now is preparatory logistics. Officials have in recent months been making efforts to expand the use of the Bahamian digital currency that was initially launched in December 2019, promoting it at various festivals.
We are positioning ourselves to begin to focus on more sustainable ways of getting transfers to individuals in sand dollars. So the program that the government foreshadowed around how it intends to tackle the cash districts, the government cash districts. So that is an area where the central bank will be mobilizing to work closely with the government and the public enterprises to outfit those districts so that you can have a more sustainable flow of sand dollars into those areas.
A tip leads to quite a drug find for police. Sometime after 1 p.m., officers went to French Leaves Beach in Eleuthero, where they discovered the drugs, approximately 1 kilo. The street value pegged at some $20,000. No arrests were made. Investigations continue. A healing pond in the south portion of Cat Island getting some rave reviews. Our Jiminita Swain made her way there to see what it was all about.
And I would like the world to know we have this big healing pond in Cat Island down in the deep, deep south, Port Howe.
Daisy Mae Hunter is convinced of the therapeutic properties of the so-called healing pond. From all accounts, it's a salt pond due to the salinity of the water, but Hunter sings its praises.
It's very good for you. It will take time. Even the muds, if you rub it on any sores or stuff you get, it will help dry it up. It's really, really good for you. In the healing pond, you don't sink. You just float off on your back, and it's very good.
But like anything else, there is, of course, a story behind it.
In days gone by, it was called McKinney Pond. There was the McKinney plantation just over the hill from there. There was a gentleman had some horses. And those days, they ride a lot of horse going into Old Bight. That was the main vehicle of going around in Cat Island, the horses. So the horses became sick. And the gentleman took his horse to the healing pond. And as he began to carry the horse there, every day the horse is getting better and better and better.
As for her experience,
I have a little bad knee, and I goes into it, and I float, and I just sit there. Early in the morning is when I get my meditation time at the healing pond.
So obviously, Miss Hunter has been talking so much about the healing pond, but she's not the only one. I think if you come to Cat Island, most persons will tell you that the healing pond is where you need to visit. One guy told me earlier in the week that you have to get completely submerged. Now, I'm not going to get completely submerged at this time. I took off my flip-flops, and I'm going to just step in the water and get some of that nice mineral healing. So whenever you're in Cat Island, I hope you make it a trip to come down and check out the healing pond, and hopefully it does some healing benefits and wonders for all of us. So let's figure out what's happening in here. I hear it's pretty warm too, but anyway, we'll see.
The sustainable tourism in Cat Island, which I am a part of, the chairperson of the sustainable tourism. We have our little group, and we decided that the Hebe take on the healing pond is one of our baby, and we are working at this. So just a couple weeks ago, we had Mr. Williams come in and make the road a little bit wider and a little bit better accessible for people to come in, and parking area here, and so people could get into the pond and be a little bit more at ease.
Now, as I've said before, locals are convinced of the healing properties of the pond, but it's one of those things you just have to try for yourself. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Jiminita Swain.
Well, thanks, Jimmy. Cat Island, though, just one of several homecomings this Emancipation Holiday weekend. Rowville, Exuma is also in the mix. That's where we find our Lloyd Allen.
Well, right now we're on Exuma at the International Airport, and I'm standing here with Dwight Hart. He's the executive chairman of the Exuma Regatta and Homecoming Committee. Dwight, an unfortunate development so far this weekend. 2 persons dying as a result of a traffic accident on Queens Highway. Obviously, increased persons coming here on the island. What do you have to say in regards to that?
Well, you know, that's very unfortunate. I'm just hearing the news myself. Regrettable that we've come here for this 79th Rowville Regatta to celebrate homecoming, and to have it beginning really with an traffic accident, and as you would have said, 2 casualties. It's so unfortunate. But, you know, that kind of brings us to the point of we have to be very, very careful, especially for newcomers to the island. People are renting cars, not familiar with the roads. Some of the roads, most of it now, have been freshly paved. So I know there's a tendency for people to speed up just a little bit. Exuma does have quite a few curves, and so you have to be extremely careful when you're driving. These curves sneak up on you quite a bit, and very easy to get distracted. People are using their, devices sometimes and not paying attention. We have quite a bit of foreigners driving also, and sometimes they end up, mistakenly on the wrong side of the road. And so it's just, kudos for everybody who has been doing their best to pay attention, and we just want everybody else, as you're driving the streets of Exuma this weekend, we're here really to have a good time, and please, please be careful.
Of course, caution is the order of the day, but focusing also on the homecoming, give us an idea on what that's going to look like as it unfolds tonight.
Well, we have such a big-time experience for all those who have come. The opening ceremonies crank off today. Well, before the opening ceremonies, we actually have a big float parade that's going to start right here at the airport around 6 o'clock or so. It's going to be long, and so if you're trying to get to Roseville, you need to get there prior to this float parade getting started. If not, you're going to be stuck.
And driving safely, of course.
And driving safely. Well, if you're behind the float parade, trust me, you're going to have to be driving very slow because it's going to be long. So after that ends up in Roseville, we're going to have a Junkanoo rush out, and then there's the opening parade, opening ceremonies scheduled for about 7:30. We do have a member of parliament who's the Deputy Prime Minister, Chester Cooper, who is scheduled to bring the final remarks. We are honoring a former member of parliament, George A. Smith, during this regatta, and so we're going to be making a presentation to some of his family members.
Of course, an exciting development here on the island, an unfortunate development earlier, but we hope that it unfolds in a positive direction for the rest of the weekend. Reporting here from the Exuma Airport for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Well, thanks, Lloyd. Now time for a check on Family Island weather, and for that we turn to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makishla. Mostly cloudy skies. We had some recent light rains here outside of our studios. The temperature now at 87 degrees, relative humidity 69%, south-southeast winds at 8 miles per hour. The barometric pressure 1,015.7 millibars. That's 29.97 inches. And your temperatures around the family of islands this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 85 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Grand Turk, Key and Abaco, Marshall, Abaco at 87 degrees. Berry Islands 84, Isle of San Bimini also reporting 84 degrees. Harbor Island 87. Rock, Sandy Lutra 86, Black Point, Exuma, and Kemp's Bay, St. Andros at 84 degrees. Fresh Creek, Central Andros 80 degrees, 87 in Otterstown, Cadalum, San Salvador, and Rum Key, Georgetown, Exuma, a little warmer at 89 degrees. 89's in Ragged Island, Clarence, down Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Megwana 88, Ackles 88, Matthew, Tananagua 90, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 92 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. In the Northwest and Central Islands tonight, the wind's going to remain light and variable with those flat sea conditions continuing. The high tide will occur at 10:59 tonight. Now for the southeast Bahamas, easterly winds 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. We will see some increase in those winds beginning tomorrow. In the Northwest Bahamas, the winds will pick up out of the southeast at 10 to 15 knots, wave heights building 2 to 4 feet. High tide taking place at 11:30 in the morning with the low tide at 5:44 in the afternoon. Now for the central and southeastern islands, tomorrow through Sunday, the winds east to southeast, 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. Caution flags go up for the central and southeastern islands beginning on Saturday, continuing through Sunday. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Party, party with me, yeah.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Attention, college freshmen! ZNS wants to send you to college with some great prizes. Just WhatsApp a 10-second video of you holding the name of your college or university to 557-3488 by August 21st. Include your name and you are entered to win really big. For more details, go to www.znsbahamas.com/giveaways.
Everyone hates a dead car battery. Why not get a battery that lasts and has a 12-month warranty and is only $64.50? Intercontinental batteries are made with German technology, compatible with Japanese, US, and European vehicles, and adapts to warm climates. All right, good to go. These batteries are high quality, affordable, innovative, and only available at AID.
Visit us online or WhatsApp us at 427-0026. AID, all you really need and more.
Attention, college freshmen! ZNS wants to send you to college with some great prizes. Just WhatsApp a 10-second video of you holding the name of your college or university to 557-3488 by August 21st. Include your name and you are entered to win really big. For more details, go to www.znsbahamas.com/giveaways.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your Friday Sports, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles. Well, it's the holiday weekend, and that can only mean one thing. It's regatta time again. Festivities kicking off Thursday night for the 2023 Acklands Homecoming and Regatta. Players Club was the place to be for a good old-fashioned skipper's party on Thursday night. We caught up with the hometown boy, Stefano Kemp, on his expectations for this weekend.
Well, this weekend should be a good weekend. You know, the winds are going to be moderate to light, so it's going to be pretty much easy for the skippers to handle their boat. You know, we're expecting a good race this weekend. You know what I mean? We have the C and E class that's going to be participating. We had a shortcoming, but nevertheless, we're going to make the best of what we have. You know what I mean? It's supposed to have been better, but we had a slight hiccup that caused us to, you know what I mean, not have the volume of boats. But nevertheless, we're going to make the best of this.
And he's also eager to keep that trophy in Acklands.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good feeling that I could come home and I could win and we could be able to brag, you know what I mean? You know, we have some of the other guys who's from here, and you know what I mean? And so if I could stay on top of them, it's always good. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, that we're gonna make the best of it. Like I said, we're just gonna have a little fun, clean fun between ourselves who are from Acklands.
And he's not the only sailor ready for the start of the races.
Well, you know, I was in Acklands last year for the first time, and I got hooked. This is a very different sort of region of the Bahamas in terms of the topography, the geography, the climate. And I love it. And so, you know, when I think about how people navigated these islands, especially the southern islands back in the day, it reminds me of how old sailing is. And how the use of the water is for navigating between these islands, and it was a means of survival.
Now, we left full details of Friday's races for you in tomorrow's Sportscast. In other sports news, the Creighton Blue Jays in town for their Bahamas Summer Tour. Of course, a member of their roster, no stranger to the shores of the 242. Andros native Frederick King is expected to post some big numbers in his sophomore season. He fielded some questions from the media on being back home and playing in front of his family.
What was your first reaction when you heard the trip was going to the Bahamas? Who'd you call right immediately when you heard?
I called my mom, and then she was just like happy to see me. It's pretty solid.
When's the last time you played it?
The last time I played in front of my mom was the Big East tournament.
Will you be nervous?
Huh?
Will you be nervous?
Probably. I'm kind of nervous now.
And that's been a look at sports. This Friday, a check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
On May 1st, 2012, Rubis acquired the Chevron fuel business in the Bahamas, which traded under the Texaco brand. We are now celebrating our 10th anniversary of the Rubis brand in the Bahamas. Rubis has become the fuel brand of choice. However, our 10-year journey was not without challenges. We would like to recognize our dedicated members of staff and thank our customers for their continued support. We look forward to another 10-year milestone as we continue our journey.
Feeling hot? Let this week's specials cool you down at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Rainbow Whole Kernel Corn, 15 ounce, $1.19. Hillendale Eggs, extra large, 1 dozen, $2.29. Sweet Cantaloupes, $3.99 each. Chicken drumsticks, 89 cents per pound. Coca-Cola soda, 12 ounce, 6-pack, $3.59. Donate your change to help feed the Maine Society animals at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Come, celebrate with a grateful nation. This son of the soil, a great Bahamian, a living legend and national hero, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis. Cat Islanders from throughout the archipelago will converge in beautiful Cat Island, August 2nd through 6th for the annual Cat Island Regatta, incorporating a national event honoring the Prime Minister, Philip Brave Davis. Only ZNS will have live coverage of this series of historic events. You won't want to miss History in the Making here on the ZNS Network.
50 years ago, a new era began. 50 years of a small country doing big things. Our faith, our people, and our values are the source of our strength. Together we share joy and survive the hardest times by leaning on each other. Now, as we confront a changing world, we need to grow stronger. That means standing up for ourselves, protecting our borders, investing in our family islands, growing more of what we eat at home, owning more of our economy, and above all, investing in our people. Lifting each other up, that's who we have always been. We know where we came from, so we know where we are going. Happy Independence, Bahamas. May God bless us all.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, the tropics remain quiet this evening with no activities out there, and we don't anticipate any kind of development over the next 7 days. And closer to home, still have that persistent mid to upper level troughing across the area, and that will continue to support pockets of showers and thunderstorms through Sunday. Tonight, we are looking at partly cloudy, a bit on the warm side, with your low temperature around 80 degrees. Tomorrow, it's going to shape up like this. Cloudy in the morning with a thunderstorm possible, turning partly sunny in the afternoon. High temperature getting up to 90 degrees tomorrow, and your extended weather forecast keeping those 90s right through the 7-day cycle. And then we'll have some more heavy showers on Sunday. Thereafter, things will start to improve. We'll see the skies open up Monday looking pretty nice with lots of sunshine, and that will continue for the balance of the week. Until we get into Friday, we'll see some heavy cloud cover move back into the forecast area, causing those temperatures to drop below the 90-degree mark. Makishla?
Hazel, and that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
We're sitting here at our recently constructed observation deck at Harold and Wilson's Pond National Park. This is going to be the biggest undertaking that we have done as an organization with respect to the potential to reach the highest percentage of our population. We expect to have trails that run along old causeways that are part of the system, thousands of feet of first-class boardwalk, several observation decks, a couple of observation towers.